Hi folks, it's Mike Murphy. In today's quick tip, I'm going to show you the 3 different pick whips available in Adobe After Effects CC 2024. The pick whip. It's that little spiral icon that you've probably seen down in the layers panel. You click on the pick whip of one element and then you drag it. And this creates kind of a rubber band effect, which is kind of fun. But you drag it and link to another element. So this creates a parent-child relationship. So now the children inherit the properties from the parent. Pick whip number 1 is the parent pick whip. This is to link layers together. And you'll find the parent pick whip under the parent and link column. So if you do not see parent and link down in the layers panel, just right-click anywhere in the header area, go to columns, and check parent and link. And all you do is click on the pick whip and just drag it to another layer. You can also click on this little drop down and select the layer that you want to inherit the properties from. And this drop down will show you all layers even if you have them hidden using the shy guy. Now I want the text to follow whatever the logo does. So I can just click on the pick whip for the text layer and drag it onto the logo layer. Or I could click the drop down and choose the logo layer, but the pick whip is much more satisfying. So I'll click, drag it, let go. I'll drag the CTI to the beginning of the timeline. Notice the text is following the logo. Tap the space bar. Easy as that. If I press Shift R to bring up rotation, if I change the rotation property, sure enough, the text is following the logo. Shift S for scale, same results. The child layer is the text. It's following the parent layer, which is the logo. And before you use the parent pick whip on an animated layer, make sure the CTI is in the correct position first. For example, if I were to use the pick whip now, the layers are linked together, but it's not in the position that I want. So just make sure the CTI is where you want it, and then use the pick whip. And to remove the parent-child relationship, just click on the drop-down and choose None. Pick whip number 2 is the property pick whip. You can link individual properties. Any property where you see a pick whip, you can link that to another layer's property. The child layer's property values are going to inherit whatever the values are on the parent layer. So the rectangle opacity property is set to 50%. I'll click on the property pick whip and drag it to the star opacity, which is at 100%. And as soon as I let go, you'll notice the value changed to 100% and it's also in red. And whenever you see a value in red, that means that an expression has been added. Notice the rotation of the rectangle is at 45 degrees. If I click on the property pick whip and drag it to the rotation of the star layer, which is at 0, once I let go, the link has been created and now the rotation of the rectangle is at 0. And if I change the rotation of the star, the rectangle will follow. Tap EE to reveal all expressions. You can click on the equal sign or option click on the property pick whip to temporarily disable the parent-child link, or press Option or Alt, click on the stopwatch next to a property to remove the expression. A practical example of using the property pick whip, I added the fill effect to change the color of the text layers. Then I went to the stroke color properties for each of the circles and just selected the property pick whip for each stroke and dragged it onto the fill color of the text. And now when I change the text color using the fill effect, the circles are going to automatically change to the same color. Pick whip number 3 is the expression pick whip. The expression pick whip will become available whenever you option click on any stopwatch, which is what you do when you want to add an expression. So on this logo layer, I added 4 slider controls. I separated the position property dimensions so I could see X and Y. I'll option click on the stopwatch next to X position instead of entering an expression, I'm going to click on the expression pick whip and I'm going to drag it to the slider control. I'll option click on the Y position, click on the expression pick whip, drag it to the slider control, name position Y. And you can also go into an expression, select a value, drag the expression pick whip. I'll drag this to the frequency for the wiggle. I'll select the amplitude value, click on the expression pick whip, drag it on the slider control. And now all of the expressions are linked to the slider controls. And that is how to use the 3 different pick whips to create parent-child relationships in Adobe After Effects CC 2024. My name is Mike Murphy. Cheers.